Rev up your engines! Okay, today we got a Honda Element, very interesting vehicles, and the airbag lights on because he had swapped the seats out. He didn't like the seats, he put the other seats back in. Realize if you mess with the seats, or let's say you find you got a problem with the airbag module, they go bad and you replace it. It has to be recalibrated or your stupid light's going to come on. So I'm going to show you how a mechanic recalibrates it using my machine, and believe me, it's worth paying a mechanic to do it. You're not going to buy the expensive tool, right? And if you try to do it without the machine, theoretically it's possible, but I've never actually seen somebody do it and it worked. So we'll start out with the car. It's got 180,000 miles on it, still runs like a clock. He bought it from his brother. His brother bought it secondhand. But here's one of the reasons this is really a great vehicle. There it is. It's got a 5-speed manual transmission. The thing about the history, the Japanese made these for surfer dudes. We open it up, there we go. You could take the seats out, you could fit small surfboards and check out the bottom, okay? They make them this way, the whole way through. You can hose this baby out with a pressure washer if it's full of sand. These were very interesting vehicles. Shame they don't make them anymore. See, he's really set for going places. He's got his stool carriers on the top. Those are great carriers. So he can bring whatever he wants. We look under the hood and what do we find? This is the best Element made. It's got Honda's IV Tech 2.4, double overhead cam, 4-cylinder engine, plenty of power, and with the manual transmission, this thing is actually kind of a screaming vehicle. Guy who owns it isn't driving like a maniac, but hey, if he had to, he can. It's a very good engine, hooked up to that transmission. These things can last forever. Got 180,000 miles, still humming along strong. Now sure, it lives up north in Connecticut. A lot of superficial rust, and you can see the wheels are all corroded, but the vehicle itself is still pretty solid. You can see, even back in these days, Honda still know how to make these things. They're well made, nice and solid. Plus, they got a lot of plastic stuff, and guess what? The plastic stuff doesn't rust. Although the hitch does, you can see that, but that's not Honda's fault. They didn't make that hitch. And as we look inside, check it out. The original cloth seats, aside from a little wear here, they're still in pretty good shape. That is why you want to get cloth seats. If you're going to drive a vehicle forever, get cloth seats. They're going to last a lot longer. They just are. And this is what I like about all the cars. They have an actual key, an actual emergency brake. And as we put the scan tool on, we are going to go through this airbag system since he moved the seats and see what's going on. Detected the vehicle, do a standalone diagnosis. Okay, read the VIN, knows what it is. USA. Element 2008. Okay, while it's doing it, we'll look around. Thing's still in excellent shape. Dash is sound. Seats are good. Well, you can see there's probably been a dog in here. But these things, with all their plastic, for surfers, it's held up really well. When you put those seats down or take them out, you got a lot of space, baby. And it even has that cool sunroof in the back. See, what he's worried about is the airbag system. So when it's done, we're going to go right to the airbag system. Done. Tire pressure monitoring stuff doesn't work. But what he wants is the airbag system because he's put the original seats back in after putting in custom seats he didn't like. Out of the SRS system, you have to initialize the stuff. See, it's telling you when you replace stuff, you get the seats out, make it dry, follow all this stuff, turn the ignition switch off. Okay, we've turned it off, taken it out. Wait for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What's it gonna do next? Explode? Don't turn the ignition switch on. Initializing stuff. Wait for 10 seconds. Hey, we already waited for 10 seconds. Now you gotta wait again. That's computers for you. Now we're waiting for 8 seconds this time. Hey, going pretty fast though. Our operation is now in progress. Now, as you can see, the airbag light is originally on. Well, as you can see, the lights are off now, so let's take it for a spin. But as soon as we start up, the airbag light's back on. So there is something wrong. So let's check it out. So we'll go back to auto scan. And here we go. We'll scan it again. There we go. Alrighty. The codes came back. So now we'll see there is definitely something wrong. We reset it, and we'll see what the codes came back. We know there's something funky here. So we'll go to the ABS SRS system. Well, it won't allow initialization. So here's what we're going to do. As we look under here, all the connectors are plugged in here. Let's try something else. We're going to do it without me sitting in the car. So, and it's doing its thing with nobody sitting in the car. Success, look, it's worked. So even though it said you're supposed to be sitting, you can sit here but not there. I moved them both up all the way, and it says it's done. So, as here, reperform initialization when any part of the system is disconnected during service. He took the old seats out, put new seats, didn't like the new seats, put the old seats back in, and now it is, so let's take it for a spin. So before we do anything else, we'll start her up. Now I'm doing an experiment. I did it and it worked with me not in the car. Now I'm going to try it with me in the car and see what happens. Because if it won't do it, that means that somehow he damaged the driver's seat when he moved things out, because he did take them all apart. And he's going to try a used seat from a junkyard if that's the case, because with me not in the car, it reset it. Now we're trying to reset it. As you can see, it won't reset with me sitting in it, so there's a problem with the driver's seat when he took it all apart. All right, I swapped scan tools. I found the problem. It's internal failure of the unit itself, because I see this all the time. Believe it or not, just the fact of plugging and unplugging sensors, if there's any static electricity, it can short out the module. And in this case, it shorted out the module. Most of these modules are operating only on a 5-volt reference and a few milliamps, which are thousandths of an amp power, not thousands, but thousandths of an amp, very small amount of power. Even static electricity and fingers can short it out. And in this case, the unit's gone, so he's going to live with the light. Nice, the internal unit shot, so we'll forget that. Airbag light's going to stay on. So don't take your seats in and out. You might short stuff out. If you do, wear gloves so static electricity won't short them out. But here we go, backing up. Got 180,000 plus miles. Still idles like a dream. These Hondas are well made. Put it in first gear. We're going over the bump now. Elements are pretty high up in the air since surfer dudes will use them, so we don't have to slow down too much. They are notorious for having bumpy rides. That's just the way a vehicle like this goes. Probably one of the reasons they're kind of a cult vehicle and they don't make them anymore. But very easy to shift, smooth, reliable Honda engine that can run forever. This baby still runs like a clock. It doesn't burn oil. And it's got 180,000 miles on it. Getting hot, so let's turn the AC on. Max AC. Now we'll get some cool air. But hey, these things can go. Zippy engine, standard tranny, a lot of fun to drive. And yeah, they make a little bit of noise. They're a boxy little vehicle, but man, they're fun to drive, and they can run basically forever. Well, make our little turn up here. Gotta slow down, people are in the way. Can't make a fast turn because there's too many people. But if we had to, we could in this thing. They got a nice small wheelbase, so although they got a bumpy ride, they're very easy to drive. With all the space they have in the back, put those seats on or take them out like the surfers did and carry a lot of stuff. No problem going up a hill. Now with that big 2.5 liter 4 and a manual tranny, a lot of fun to drive around. Third owner of the car. I guess people just got tired of it not breaking down, right? Interesting enough, the guy also owns a Honda Fit, which he loves too. It gets even better gas mileage than this thing does. He likes oddball Honda cars that get him where he's going and last a long time. They all get in the upper 30s gas mileage too. That's bouncy on these bouncy Rhode Island roads. Hey, I mean, it's still got the original struts on it. That showed you they can still go. They're gonna bounce more, but it's not like it's out of control. You can still drive it. You don't mind the bouncing. So what's the moral of the story? Well, you buy one of these, it can run forever. The other moral of the story is don't mess with your seats in the airbag system unless you're grounded, you got anti-static gloves on, because just unplugging stuff, touching them, plugging in this case, it shorted the module out. None of this stuff happened until you started moving the seats in and out. You don't take the seats out of these cars. If you want to clean it, clean under them with a vacuum cleaner, because just the fact of taking it and unplugging them, even if you don't damage it and you plug them back in, the light's going to come on. Then you're going to have to pay a guy like me to go through that process that I just did and pray that static electricity did not destroy the module, because they're very touchy. Now, you saw those connections are under the seat, right? Nobody's under there messing around, so there's no static electricity. But once you start unplugging that stuff, a little zip here or there, and goes the module. Now, personally, I don't trust airbag systems anyways. I always use my seat belts. Those are explosive devices. You get an explosive device that's, you know, pushing 20 years old. Do you really think it's going to explode at the right microsecond when it has to? I don't trust it. Seat belts, as long as they go click and they're not all frayed and the bolts are still on tight, they'll save you in the event of an accident. Now you learn a little bit about Honda Elements and a little bit about why you shouldn't mess with your car seats. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.